rare that something like this is so good, so perfect, so mwah. Hi. Hello, friends. Steve Dangle here, and welcome to another episode of Steve's Hat Picks, where we take a look at the best from around the NHL over the past week. You know what's weird? Time. See, I started making YouTube videos in 2007, which means the first season that I made videos was the 2007-2008 season, which means we spent most of that season talking about the upcoming draft and the first overall pick to be that was Steven Stamkos. I know. And now here he is, a captain, multi-time cup winner, and now the scorer of 1,000 points.
Down low, Stamkos to Cole from the angle in front, they score! Paul, I believe, tipped it in. Stamkos will get his 1,000th NHL point, and the Tampa Bay bench empties as they celebrate a milestone accomplishment for their captain, Stamkos, to 1,000.
Number 1,000, one of the most well-respected athletes in the NHL. And some Tampa Bay Lightning fans here to watch Stamkos pick up his 1,000th point. Here he is on the boards. Pass across. Ian Cole fires it in front. I'm not sure if it went off of D'Angelo or Paul, but Paul's quick to pick the puck up, and then the Tampa Bay Lightning celebrate the second goal of this game, but the 1,000th point for Steven Stamkos.
That might be Cole.
I like the slow dawning on everyone, because he didn't score the goal, but he probably got the assist. Yeah! And look, old-time hockey, they used to come off the bench for every single goal, and I can imagine that would have wasted a lot of time. Probably good that they did away with that, but I like that for a big milestone, they can empty the bench. Bonus points on this one, however, because it happened on the road, and it was in Philly! Everyone must have been so mad. I want to know who knew. Who had to break the news to the rest of the section? Here's what happened. Oh, Philly wanted a bench clearing brawl so bad, you know it. But what an accomplishment for what a player. That's a hat pick. Hey, speaking of milestones, how about Mitch Marner? The Toronto Maple Leafs have been around for over a century, and the record for points in consecutive games is 18. Now, I saw some people upset that, well, why are we making a big deal out of this? It's not the NHL record. Yeah, that's why they made sure to specify it was the Leafs record. Happy to clear that up. Here's Mitch Marner breaking the record with a goal shorthanded.
Key ones though, right? The power play.
Giveaway. Mitch Marner in front. Mitch Marner! And Vasilevsky got a piece of that as Marner got a turnover off the skate of the referee. Another chance. Marner scores! 19! He'll stand alone with the longest point streak in Toronto Maple Leaf history. And a short-handed marker at that.
Unable to get it. You go back to the empty netter, and he had his chances earlier to keep the 18-game streak going, and here he gets a second chance after missing what looked like was going to be a given. That quick release.
Unreal that he could have had the same record on the same play twice. That's a hat pick. Now, of course, there was another milestone. Geez, it was a big week for milestones. We have Patrick Kane hitting 1,200 points. I don't think this was the play that he hit 1,200 points on, but it's impressive and I want to show it anyway.
Nugent Hopkins, of course, been in the box a ton tonight. Uncharacteristic, thrown in front, one-timer score! And Chicago's still alive! Domi's second, created by Kane, and it's 5-4.
Minute and 11 seconds left in this game right here. It looks like possession now. A little bit of interference there. But what a play by Kane just to put that right back against the grain. That just goes off the stick and the backhand no-looker. He throws it right back across the grain. Domi tucks it home. Skinner was there. He was strong, gets across, but just can't find that puck.
No look pass to Max Domi, who he knows how disgusting that was. Probably the most ridiculous hands of his generation. That's a hat pick. And this is it. This is it for milestones, I promise. But Alexander Ovechkin broke Wayne Gretzky's goals record. Steve, fairly certain that Alex Ovechkin is about 100 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's goal record. No, here's the thing about Wayne Gretzky. He was quite good at hockey, eh? and he has more than one record. You see, believe it or not, Alexander Ovechkin has scored more than half of the goals in his career on the road. You wouldn't know it because that siren they have in Washington is burned into all our collective memories. Pretty sure that siren is what got the Atlanta Thrashers moved. But he scored 2 goals in Vancouver to tie the record and break it.
Plays the puck behind the Vancouver goal. Hughes checked, and Ovechkin scores. Alex Ovechkin with a goal that ties him with Wayne Gretzky for the most road goals in NHL history. Extra spring in his step the last few games.
I think it helps playing with Ethan Bear. They're a good combination.
Mantha fake the shoot in, put it to the middle. Strome, Ovechkin scores! Second of the game. And he's now the all-time leader in road goals in NHL history. His 4th against the Canucks this year, and it's 2-0 Washington.
Get Alex Ovechkin. Mantha does a nice job. Backhand pass. And Strome across to Ovechkin, and that one-timer right through Spencer Martin. Thought he had it. Cranks it up, and you can see he gets a good piece of it.
Ovi is so ridiculous, man, because some players, they slow down when they're approaching a milestone or they get stuck. Ovechkin speeds up. Feels like every week he's doing something new. That's a hat pick. For our next hat pick, the Capitals, once again on their Western Road swing, almost score a hat pick, but instead it's the save that's the hat pick from a former Capital.
To himself by Schultz. Kuznetsov, Oshie, Dangle by Schwartz. There's Kuznetsov. Oh! What a save! 10 bells! Ring the chimes! What a stop by Philip Grubauer! Stops in this game, 1 in the first, 1 here in the second. Oshie finds Kuznetsov, and Gruby moves right to left and makes an incredible stop with the left pad. And then how about the chance for Jordan Eberle? Look at Kemper.
How unreal is it in Seattle right now? They're chanting for Philip Grubauer, and it's not followed by expletives. They've been a top 10 team in the NHL basically the whole season, and that ridiculous stretch save, that's a hat pick. Not to be outdone, famous adversary of the Washington Capitals, noted Alan Walsh client, Marc-Andre Fleury.
Nugent Hopkins, Bouchard, Nugent Hopkins, McDavid a one-timer, and that clipped the side of the net. That pass a little off the mark. Bouchard threw it back in front, deflected, tries to settle back to a what a save on Nugent Hopkins by Marc-Andre Fleury.
Chance they were looking for. Here it is right here. Nugent Hopkins looks like he has an open net and a sprawling blocker.
Now that's a fantastic save, but the reason I bring up Alan Walsh is I love the tweet he sent with this highlight. One of the 24,771 saves that Marc-Andre Fleury has made in his career. Now, saves are not necessarily a measure of success. Like, for example, John Gibson is leading the NHL in saves, and that's not because the Ducks are doing extremely well. It's because on a routine basis, they get shelled. But on the topic of saves, Marc-Andre Fleury has been rocketing up the all-time charts. Just this season, he's passed Curtis Joseph, Glenn Hall, Tony Esposito, and he's now 4th all-time in saves. At the time I'm shooting this, he is 999 saves behind Patrick Waugh for 3rd. Then there is a considerable gap between 2 and 3. Roberto Luongo, 28,409. Martin Brodeur, 28,928. I know there were a lot of reasons why Brodeur wanted to come back and prove he could still play with the St. Louis Blues, and I think one of those reasons, if I just play a few more games, I can get to 29,000, baby. Come on. You know he wanted 30,000. But Marc-Andre Fleury, he still got it, and he's still got some left in the tank. That's a hat pick. Speaking of still got it and still got something left in the tank, here's a 41-year-old Craig Anderson.
As Rasmussen was slashed on his partial breakaway, and so Snyder's out to quarterback this edition of it. 4th one tonight, they tap it around, and Kubalik, denied by Anderson.
Watch the foot movement of Anderson after a brilliant play by the Red Wings. I mean, hash marks the goal line to slot to the side, and Kubalik's got a terrific shot, and it's on end. Oh, that is a thing of beauty. There's a lot of goalies can't make that move right there.
What? How is he still here? That doesn't make any sense. Now, some of you are going to be yelling at the screen right now saying, Steve, 41 isn't that old. And you know what? You're right. But it's pretty gosh darn old for a professional athlete, man. How many of you are watching this video right now and you're sore because you've been sitting too long? Greg Anderson has been standing in front of vulcanized rubber from professional athletes for the better part of 2 decades. And he still stops most of them. Absurd and exquisite. That's a hat pick. Now, looking at the standings, it feels like every hat pick should involve the Boston Bruins on account of they, don't lose. So I tell you what, here's Mr. Contract Year himself. Oh, he's gonna make so much money. David Pastrnak.
O'Connor played 3 years of college hockey, and Pastrnak, oh, filthy!
Pastrnak tried to sneak away in period 1 when Krejci tried to find him. That one didn't quite work out. This one does. Colorado fails to get the puck deep. Pastrnak recognizes it, flies the zone. Little backhand layout pass by Krejci. Shows he's gonna.
You know what's unreal about the fabled perfection line from the Bruins that they break out sometimes? Pastrnak with Bergeron and Marchand. Pasternak's probably the 3rd most talked about guy. Right now, the Bruins have a few guys who are sort of at the end of their careers, and there's going to be Hall of Fame consideration for them when they're done. Patrice Bergeron in particular, they might rename the Selke after him. But look at his numbers and look at where they could be at the end of his career. Pasta just might make the Hall. This goal is just one of the many reasons why. That's a hat pick. This next hat pick is also a silky move, but I just love what producer Nick said in the email. He said, and I quote, McDavid scored like 8 of these kind of goals this week. I don't know, here's one. He's right, so here's one.
Goalie. Anderson coughed it up at the other line. Here's Draisaitl to McDavid. Partial break. Reshot, score! 5-3 Edmonton.
Allen to the forehand side, but right here it's a nice pass by Goalie, and then everybody goes for a change, and it turns over, and McDavid's off to the races. No chance to get back into the mix from the bench. Matheson was sliding into the scene, as you see at the last second. Backhand, forehand shelf on Allen, and I mean in a split second. Give it to the speed, let McDavid do the work. And he extends the lead to 2. What a deep.
It's like he's in a...
Yeah, I know. That's gross. That's disgusting. That might not even be the best McDavid goal from this week. I don't know. We should honestly just do a hat pick dedicated to McDavid every week. I think we might just be better off. That's a hat pick. And so is everything else he does. Like, it's absurd. Now, I want to highlight something that is rare in hat picks, because it's rare that something like this is so good, so perfect, so mwah. Rasmus Dahlin goes old school, laying a perfect, devastating, and clean hit on Matt Nieto.
Say with another Lone Ranger roast and a big hit by Dahlin.
Come right back into the play, and this is the result right there. Nieto steps in and he just throws everything he's got.
Dude, this kid is a problem. The first overall pick of 2018 is showing why he was the first overall pick of 2018. He comes into the league and he struggles a bit because he's a teenager playing in the best hockey league in the world on probably the worst team in the league. And I'm sure it doesn't help that when he arrived, they were like, "Hi, Rasmus, can you do everything? Hi, youngest tiny child on the entire roster. Can you be our actual savior?" And weirdly, he struggled in that role a little bit. But then he starts to put it together with the offense, and the numbers are just rocketing up there. Scores goals in 5 straight games to open this season. So we already kind of figured he would be good at that. This hit right here, I did not know that was part of his game. And he's got Owen Power back there too. Oh, this league is in trouble. That's a hat pick. I want to end with a couple shootout items and a bonus. First is another big part of the Buffalo Sabres' future, Jack Quinn with a filthy shootout move.
The first chance to win it tonight is for the Buffalo Sabres, and it's for Jack Quinn. Scores to win it. fantastic move by Jack Quinn, and Buffalo 5-4 over Detroit.
10 pick in the NHL draft. Oh my goodness, the fake shot right there. And he comes back, and now he's, look at his agility and balance to get back on the forehand here. Nedeljkovic is going to his right, trying to do the splits here to his left. I mean, that's a full-on splits right there. That is just a remarkable play right there by Quinn.
Forget when the goalie gets deked out. I love when a player can deke out themselves and still finish it off, leaving fans salty saying that wasn't flying, that was falling with style. But you know what it was? It was a hat pick. This game was actually ridiculous between the Ducks and the Wild. Dueling, disgusting shootout moves from Trevor Zegras and Kirill Kaprizov, two of the most gifted young players in the league.
And that is remarkable in the NHL, and it's a slow boat to St. Paul for Zegras. He steps on the gas and scores, and he doesn't even break a sweat.
It's almost unfair.
Oh.
I mean, the hands are moving so fast. He's coming, he's barely even moving forward. And eventually you see the goaltender tries to poke the puck, and those fast hands of Trevor Zegras get it around that goal stick and finish it off.
And this gentleman, the reason we're still here, he had the game-tying goal. It's Kaprizov. Score!
Boy, these are some quick hands too. I mean, this is the push move. Kaprizov's just an incredible skater. Watch how he changes his feet right here and then pushes it to the forehand and shelves it.
See, I like Kaprizov's move for just being sort of slick with it. Just really nifty with his feet. Like that's a nice move, but it's with his feet. You know what I mean? Zegras' earlier in this video, I talked about Patrick Kane probably having the best hands of his generation. Zegras, he's already there. Like, he's got the best hands of this current group of young players. He has the best hands of any player in the league under 25. Excuse me while I Google if McDavid is under 25. He is exactly 25, and I said under 25, so I'm still right. Those dueling moves in the shootout, that's a hat pick. A pair of hat picks. But, to me, the biggest hat pick from this game was not John Gibson throwing the puck. That might be in Dang It's on Thursday. But this game goes to the shootout, and the Wild end up winning it in the shootout. And the reason it went to the shootout is this play from Jared Spurgeon in overtime.
Forwards tonight. Spurgeon pinching in, couldn't handle the pass. It's Terry off to the races for the Ducks. And what a play by Spurgeon to catch up and pick his pocket.
Well, Spurgeon, the last-ditch effort, that's all he's got. He waits for Terry to set up the shot.
Now, as a Troy Terry fantasy holder, I was quite upset when this happened. I was a little clouded at the time and sort of went, wait a sec, was that ridiculous what he just did? Then they showed the replay. Yeah, it was.
Can handle this pass from Kaprizov. It's broken up by Terry. Then it's put your head down and get to work. Heavy stride all the way back, and boy, Terry doesn't give him much there. He sets up the shot, stops moving the feet for a fraction.
The hat picks that show up on the score sheet are the easiest to throw up there. The goals, the saves, even the hits. This isn't going to show up anywhere. Okay, it might show up in the takeaways category, but when was the last time you cared? Try to bring up takeaways as a stat at the bar and watch your friends' eyes roll deep into the back of their heads. No one cares! They should care about this one because it saved the game. That is a serious hat pick. So, that's it for this week's edition of Steve's Hat Picks. Thank you very much for watching. Did we miss any? Let us know in the comment box down below, but for now, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I already did that part, and then I repeated it. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. You can save the day without being the game-winning goal scorer. You just got to do ridiculous diving stuff head first, like Jared Spurgeon.